Are there gender differences? Like I would assume that, and not to call women out in any way, but that men tend to be more egoically tied to the number of reps and the amount of weight that they're lifting, and maybe it's the case. I have no data on this, and this could be a completely BS observation, but maybe women are less likely to push themselves to that point of discomfort. And this being said, as a guy who goes to a gym where women tend to wear makeup to the gym.
Sure. Well, it's just how you do things. You could meet the love of your life the next day.
That's fair.
No idea.
They're all very attractive. They tend to be.
There you go. Taking care of their
creme.
bodies, right? There you go.
Yeah.
It is on average true, with very many exceptions, especially folks that are new to lifting, because when women have been lifting for a while, they turn into pretty hardcore bitches up here. What I tend to observe is a dichotomy where females on average have a little bit more difficulty or a little bit less interest, some combination of the two, of really pushing themselves to their limits. On the other hand, guys, exactly as you observed, have a bit of an excessive inclination to just go psychotic and put their ego on the line for everything. And so females are very, very pleasant to coach in technique and in consistency. They're just like sponges. You're like, do this, do it like that, do it 3 days a week. They're like, got it. Like machines, they do it. You're like, holy shit, you're the man, you're the gal. Whereas with guys, there's some guys that will turn any isolation lift for like the bicep into a 1930s already retired version of an Olympic weightlifting move or a strongman move, where they're like, okay, I know this is a bicep curl, right? Like, right, but is there any way that I can put my ego on the line so much that I have to use my entire body to lift this and scream and break the tendon open? Like, you're the man, Jim. See you Monday. So guys are more difficult to coach on stable technique and keeping them away from fuckery and egoism. Women are a little bit more difficult to coach on trying a little bit more hard. And again, all averages.
Men are probably more injury prone for this reason.
Oh God, well. Yeah. Oh my God, women almost never get hurt in the gym. Men get hurt in the gym all the damn time compared to women.
Yep.
Men are stronger on average, and if you're stronger, you can get hurt easier because you can do crazier shit to your body. Like if you're driving a go-kart that goes 10 miles an hour, you're probably not going to kill yourself. If you drive a Formula One car that goes 230, one wrong move and you're going to die. So men do get hurt more for that reason, but also because, they're just prone to doing dumb shit when their ego is on the line, and they throw technique out the window, they throw any kind of care and measure out the window. Whereas females on average, and you probably know this from the psychological literature, females on average, and this is it's not meant to be derisive, it's just a technical term, they're more neurotic in the sense that they're more kind of like a bit afraid about what's going on out in the world and how they're going to do with it. And so they bring that attitude to lifting weights on average a little bit more than men do. And so men come in to most spaces, including the gym, with an attitude of like, man, I'm the fucking man. I got this. You watch this. And, sometimes it worked well. Most times it's fine. They get jacked. Sometimes they just like break into pieces. Like Mr. Potato Head, just hit it with a hammer. It goes blah. But for females, a lot of times they have the amazing consistency. They have the amazing technique. Like you teach a female really good technique and she like locks it in her head and you see her 10 years later. It's the same pristine technique. They really care. That's great. But some women you have to pull out of their shell and kind of encourage them to try a little harder. And that it's understandable that it's a little scary and a little painful to try hard, but it's also super, super awesome. It's good for your mind. It's good for your body. It's good for everything. And it's insanely safe because going close to failure on a close grip bench press with a spotter, if you're female, there is no real change in injury probability as you get close to failure in any meaningful, absolute sense. Just keep going. And they're like, but it feels so bad. Like, yeah, just keep going and you'll be totally fine. And a lot of times with females, what I have noted works pretty well as far as coaching or understanding is that same idea about the general population of just getting them, welcoming them in to doing exactly the lifting that they like, no judgment. But if you want some better results, try to push it a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. And a lot of women respond pretty well to that. Like, oh, okay. They try it. They get a little bead of sweat. They get a little strain. And they're like, oh, man, I actually like this. Or they're like, I don't love it, but I can do it. No one died. And then so over time, a lot of women develop into just total rock star, super hardcore training people. And then so you kind of end up the best of both worlds. Whereas the guys, you have to be, listen, I know you're like whatever, champion of the world or whatever the hell you think you are in your head. Why don't we focus on technique so you don't just break into pieces and you actually get some muscle growth where you want, instead of training your glutes in a bicep curl, which is not what we're here for. So with guys, you have to reel them back a little bit. With ladies, you have to push them up a little bit. Guys, you have to focus more on technique. Ladies, you have to focus more on relative effort, as it's called, how far into your abilities are you pushing, and meet in the middle, and it ends up being pretty good training for everybody.
I love that. So great.
Hey, if you liked that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.